Welcome. We will be presenting our strategic audit presentation where our chosen company was the ASA Philippines Foundation. ASA Philippine Foundation was conceptualized by Mr. Kamal Tarafdir. ASA Philippines provides financial services such as loans, savings, and microinsurance, and business management training for micro-entrepreneurs, academic scholarships for deserving children of borrowers, disaster assistance, and healthcare to its members nationwide as part of its CSR activities. So ASA envisioned that they are not-for-profit organization and they are devoted to helping an increasing number of poor Filipino families rise out of poverty by providing microfinancing to help them establish or otherwise improve their own microenterprises. ASA has a mission that they are committed to three sectors. First is to the marginalized poor sector for which the foundation exists. Second is to the staff members who are dedicated to achieving the foundation's goals. And third is to the founders and patrons to make ASA Philippines the best and most self-sustainable MFI in the country.
First part will be the current situation. The group presented the 2018 and 2019 financial statement analysis and the ratio analysis of ASA Philippines Incorporated. The group also presented the strategic posture of the company. The group also included the reason why did we have chosen this company and also its benefit. The second part is the corporate governance. The corporate governance has been, the group presented the functions and profile of the board of directors and top management, in which this also includes the president or CEO, vice president, treasurer, corporate secretary, and compliance officer.
Next part is the external environment. As shown in the table, a growing number of socially responsible investors had the highest weighted score of 0.52, which is under opportunities. The company should capitalize this major opportunity because it will have a great impact on the business. Acquiring investors an option the company should consider as this brings a handful of advantages. It will have a great impact on the business as it will provide funding through the investments of the investors. Investors also may share their expertise, contribute ideas, and suggest solutions for any struggles that the company may come across with. Second highest weighted score is the growing demand for microfinancing, with a total weighted score of 0.48. The factor has been rated as second highest because as the population increases, it greatly affects the market demand for microfinancing. With the increase in the demand of microfinance, there is a higher possibility of acquiring new members. Since microfinancing is in demand, there is a higher chance they can reach out to poor families as the company's own objective is to elevate the condition of the poor and provide them access to financial resources. Furthermore, under threats, there are four who have the same weighted score of 0.04. This includes the unstable economy that affects the company's operation, poor laws and policies of government, calamities that may damage assets, and political interference that may lead to poor performance of ASA. The main reason why we rated them with the same factor weight score is that those are external threats that ASA Philippine Foundations Incorporated has not experienced much. Those are threats that the company has no control over. The political interferences and poor laws of government, for instance, while for the calamities in the unstable economy, there are inevitable situations, the company cannot predict the possible occurrence or happening of this event. Next part is the internal environment. As shown in the table, the first highest strength is the pro-poor community with a weighted score of 0.50. It was rated as the highest strength since it meets the main objective of ASA Philippines Foundation, which is to lend help to the poor while at least gaining a reasonable profit. The second highest strength is the non-collateral loans that surely appeal to the masses with a weighted score of 0.40. This is appealing to the people because most members do not have assets to make use of securities. This group rated it as such, for this is advantageous to the company at a reasonable profit point because members will avail the loans with a certain interest rate, which it earns money over time. Under weaknesses, there are five, which have the same 0.06 weighted score. It includes the company's lack of communications to rural and secluded areas who have greater needs of assistance, high occurrence of fraudulent activities due to poor implementation of policies, delinquent members, low engagement in social media platforms, and the company lacks human resources. They have the same weighted score, however, some differ from their factor weight and rating. Example, high occurrence of fraudulent activities. Let's proceed to the analysis of strategic factors. As shown in the table, the highest weighted score is the pro-poor community. The reason for this is that this strategic factor uh, corroborates to the vision and mission of ASA Foundation Incorporated, wherein they envision to help Filipinos rise out of poverty and improve their lives. Next factor, with a high weighted score of 0.33, was the growing number of socially responsible investors. We thought that this is important because their services to larger markets. Similarly, the offering of non-collateral loans that has a high score because having this, it will surely appeal to the masses, and in return, there will be a high number of consumers that will apply for loans. The growing demand for microfinance has also a high weighted score of 0.30 because of this challenging time of pandemic. People tend to borrow more in microfinance institutions. Let's proceed to the alternative strategies of ASA Philippines Foundation Incorporated. Strategy 1. Continue to be a pro-poor community to attract more customers based on the Strength 10 and Opportunity 7. Strategy 2. As the company offers non-collateral loans that will surely appeal to the masses, ASA should stabilize this business scheme in order to combat the increase in competitions in the industry based on the Strength 2 and Threats 1. Strategy 3, since the company is a pro-poor community, they can overcome the threat of increase in the competitions in the industry in a sense that people will tend to choose microfinance industry or they offer lower interest rates. This is based on Strength 10, Threat 1.
And as to strategy 4, offering new services to new market segments other than current members based on weakness 9 and opportunity 7. Strategy 5, because of the skills gap in human resource, customers might consider other alternatives such as banks and cooperatives who have competent employees. Consequently, ASA must organize seminars and trainings for the staff to compete in the industry based on the weakness 7 and threat 3. And strategy 6, due to delayed issuance of incentives, there is a possibility of robbery, theft, and similar fraudulent activities among the employees. However, if they issue employee incentives early on, they can minimize these threats based on weakness 3 and threat 5. And for the recommendation, the company should offer new services to new market segments other than the current members. Expanding services like offering micro pension and deposit services will maximize business operation that eventually yield a higher revenue and by also having a large market. Offering new services such as micro pension is more likely to succeed. Next one is the implementation. In regards with the recommendation strategy, Every employee is a key player in implementing this plan. Thus, ASA must provide the employees the policies and procedure of the prescribed technique so that the employees can make this strategy become successful. Because some say that employee is an important asset on the organization. For the evaluation and control, ASA invested in a cloud-based system where the financial information, audited status of the institution profitability, portfolio quality, and client records is automated. By the digital technology, the recommended strategy can be evaluated if it's effective. And that's all. Thank you.